The curlews are an iconic species. That haunting call that you hear in the spring is emblematic of wild spaces across Europe, but particularly in Britain, we hold about 2/3 of the European breeding population of curlews. So we've got huge responsibility for maintaining that population into the future.
With your support, we've already been able to get conservationists like PhD student Ellie Rivers out to curlew sites with trail cameras to learn more about the risks these birds face and advise on predation control.
In the first year of my PhD, just 3 chicks were produced out of almost 50 breeding pairs. So I've deployed trail cameras on as many nests as I could find and found that without a doubt, foxes were the main nest predator of curlew. In response, some of the keepers stepped up their predator management and saw great results, with one area reaching almost 90% nest survival. We have also lost nests to crows, and we've had one badger loss and also some interference from stock, such as pony and cows. It's quite a labour-intensive process. So last year, I think it was taking us a little bit longer to find a nest. We've got our techniques refined a little bit more, so we're hoping this year we'll get quite a few more. This season, I put out 21 radio tags on curlew chicks and followed every chick every single day throughout the breeding season. But there's many unanswered questions. We'd expected to find a lot of the chicks predated, but we also found many of them just dead.
We know from a lot of ringing across the country for several years that the adult survival rate of curlew is pretty stable, up in the sort of low 90%. But the real issue is breeding success. These birds live relatively long periods, 8 to 15 years typically, but they're just not producing enough chicks. And this is part of the problem, because a lot of farmers and people in the countryside think they're still, seeing birds, but without those chicks fledging, we'll get to the point where suddenly the population drops off a cliff. If we do nothing, we'll certainly lose curlew from large parts of southern England, and even in Scotland and northern England, the Pennine Chain, where the stronghold is, we're likely to lose curlews. We've already done a reasonable amount of GPS tagging, so that's following adults. That's been fascinating because it's shown that curlew territories can be a lot larger than we'd originally envisaged. So we need a landscape scale approach for curlews, really, and it's about a numbers game. So it's simply getting enough tags on to get a good, robust sample that gives us an idea of what generally is likely to be effective in protecting these broods. If things are going wrong for curlew and curlews are declining, they're fairly high up the food chain, so we lose a whole range of other species, from invertebrates, meadow flowers, right the way up. If we can get things right for curlew, we're safeguarding a whole ecosystem that brings a whole range of other benefits.
In 2024, I hope to continue with this radio tracking study, putting out 30 tags to follow as intensively as before. Only then will we be able to get a clearer picture of what's happening to these chicks and what the solutions will be. Project's only possible because of the decades of work that have gone before at GWCT, collaborating with gamekeepers and land managers.
Time's of the essence with curlew. The government's bringing in the ELMS scheme. We've had input into that, but we really need to know what solutions will work so that the money is spent most effectively. It's a numbers game. The quicker we can do the science and come up with a policy to inform government and Natural England DEFRA on what techniques are likely to be effective, what scale they need to be deployed at, then we're more likely to save curlews before those remaining adults die and don't stand a chance to breed.